Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, I am Barathan. I share interesting stories and concepts from the books and articles I read. Today we are going to see an interesting topic, how to say no. Even I used to say yes for all requests a few years back. And in Indian culture, saying no is more of offending others. So we do not use the word no. So when I wanted to improve my focus and productivity, I started reading many books and articles. So today's discussion is based on all the knowledge I have gathered through the books and mentors and friends discussion. How to say no to your boss? By saying no, will it affect my career prospects? This is the most critical question and you can find answer in this video. In a world of more requests than we can fulfill, learning how to say no with grace and style is a skill we all need. Josh Billings said, half of the troubles of this life can be traced to saying yes too quickly and not saying no soon enough. One of the ultimate productivity hack is to learn to say no. Now let me divide today's video into 3 sections. What are the reasons we feel shy to say no? Understanding the difference between yes and no. How to say no with grace and style. What are the reasons we feel shy to say no? We agree too many requests not because we wanted to do them, but because we don't want to be seen as rude, arrogant or unhelpful. You often have to consider saying no to someone you will interact with again in the future, like your co-worker, spouse, family, and friends. Most authors suggest being straightforward with no is preferred than coming up with a lengthy justification. Let us understand the difference between yes and no. The word yes and no get used in comparison to each other so often that it feels like they carry equal weight in conversation. But in reality, they are not just opposite in meaning, but of entirely different magnitude in commitments. When you say no, you are only saying no to one option. When you say yes, you are saying no to every other option. No is a form of time credit. You retain the ability to spend your future time however you want. Yes is a form of time debit. You have to pay back your commitment at some point. So think as a money when you are saying yes and no. Saying no is sometimes seen as a luxury that only those in power can afford. To some extent it is true. Turning down opportunities is easier when you can fall back on the safety net provided by power, money and authority. But it is also true that saying no is not merely a privilege reserved for the successful among us. It is also a strategy that can help you become successful. Warren Buffett once said, the difference between successful people and very successful people is that very successful people say no to almost everything. How to say no with grace and style? I discussed this point with my friends and mentors who are good at saying no since I wanted to develop the skill of saying no. The first thing is, if you have a clarity in your priority, then you can say no comfortably. The second thing is saying no with honesty and integrity so that the receiver can understand our situation and accept our decision. So I had a discussion with Dr. Ravi Sura on how to say no to friends and close circle. Here is a small clip of the discussion video. Thank you so much, Ravi, for taking your time and joining us and helping our viewers in this critical topic of saying no to our close friends and family circle.
Yeah. So it was an interesting thing that you brought up, especially saying no to friends, family, and those who are close to you is probably the most difficult one because you don't want to disappoint them for first thing, right? However, at a lot of times you will face a situation and you have to say no. And the best way, at least I have found, is as long as you say no and tell them the reasons why you're saying no, and they have trust in what you say. Usually they know that you're not lying just to get out of the things, right? They trust you. You do it with an honesty and integrity and say, hey, there are some valid reasons why I'm saying no. And I hope you understand. Now, there is a possibility that they might not understand or they might insist, no, you have to do this. But you have to stand firm. And at that point, they will understand that this is something important to you and you would not have said no without a very strong reason. And I'm sure if they are really good friends and you have a good relationship with them, that will not be in danger just because you're saying no. Saying no once or twice or thrice or even 4 times, if it is not comfortable to you and you cannot do it, and if the relationship does go back, then they're not really, this is not a really good relationship, right?
Yeah,
So
correct.
so I think most relationships, if they're good enough, survive a few no's. It's perfectly fine. And I'm sure that what people do appreciate is that you are being honest with them, not saying yes and then not doing it, which is
Yeah.
actually a worse off situation than saying no and being clear about, okay, I can't do this at all, right? So that's my perspective, and see,
So
that seems to have worked.
there is one more strategy. If you don't want to say upfront no, you can say, let me check with my calendar and get back to you. Is one of the responses you can say if you do not want to say no directly. In this way, we can check and reply through email and SMS that you are unavailable. Saying no to your boss or superiors in your office is unthinkable. I had a discussion with Mr. Bhaskar Natarajan. He is one of the India's leading CEO and CXO coaches. We can see a small clip of our discussion.
That's right, Barathan. Saying no becomes even more difficult when it comes to your own manager. Why is it so? There could be many scenarios. You are new to the team and you would like to earn your place by proving your competence, by proving your strengths. And you invariably end up saying yes to every project, every task that's coming your way. Or a scenario where you are passionate about your job and you want to experience more of joy and fulfillment and meaning in what you do, and you end up saying yes to everything that's coming your way. Or a scenario where you already have a strained relationship with your manager and you believe that saying no would further strain, so you invariably end up saying yes. There's a saying which I learned from one of my mentors: good work gets punished with more good work. Where people who do shabby job get away by not getting these assignments. Why is it so? Your manager wants to look good in front of their key stakeholders, so they rely upon you to deliver to the utmost quantity and quality within the deadline. So how do you say no then, especially to your supervisor who would be rating your performance by end of the year, which will determine your payout or incentive or promotion that you are long waiting for? One way is to list out all the areas that you're working on and ask your supervisor to prioritize for you, so that you may say no to something to make way for the new task or assignment that's coming your way. The positive side that you can see in this whole thing is something that you're working on which is not worthwhile, not challenging enough for you to do a routine, mundane, demeaning job would be given to someone else on your team, and you would get space to take up this new assignment which your boss feels is very critical and you are the right person to do it. And the task which is coming to you fresh now is not that important than the ones which you're already working on. Your boss may decide not to give it to you anyway because it will compromise quality of your output and they may end up looking bad in front of their key stakeholders. So you are saved by saying no either ways. So there is a benefit of saying no with a subtle twist there. The other way is to be honest and assertive in saying this is your bandwidth. It's very difficult for you to take up or accept any new responsibility. Thank you, Barathan, for this opportunity.
There is also an art of saying no without actually saying no, which we'll explore in the upcoming video. Please leave your thoughts in the comment section if you have any other better ideas. More effort is wasted doing things that don't matter than doing things inefficiently. And if that is the case, elimination is more valuable skill than optimization. We'll meet you next week with one more interesting topic. Till then, it's goodbye.